So over the weekend, in case people didn't know, I was at Anime Expo hosting the Toei Animation booth, and in particular I was talking about the Broly film because they're going to be remastering the Broly film, the Bardock TV special, and the Janemba movie, the Fusion Reborn film. And a lot of people were like, well, okay, that's kind of random, why are they doing that? But we have huge, and I mean, I'm not gonna lie, huge news regarding the upcoming Dragon Ball Super film. You probably could tell already from the title. Yes, it's not a troll. This ain't no Kriko Beto up in here right now. We are going to be having Broly in the film as that Saiyan that we've seen in the trailer. Now there's already a lot of questions that immediately are hitting me like, whoa, hold on a sec. So are they gonna make Broly officially canon? They're gonna ignore the previous films? Because remember, we had 3 different Broly films. We had the first film, we had the Second Coming, and then the terrible film, I ain't gonna lie, I don't like that one, the Bio Broly movie. Like, so 3 Broly movies. But wouldn't be surprised, to be honest with you, if they decide, you know what, Broly, let's really make him canon this time. And it's kind of funny because you could tell just how popular Broly is in the Dragon Ball fandom. The fact that they made Kale basically be like a female Broly, and then now they're like, hey, you know, let's give Broly a 4th film. So I'm imagining the haters are going to be very upset, but you know, the fans are going to be like, yo, this is crazy. So we got the info right here. I'll read it and talk a little bit more, but honestly, it just kind of makes sense if you think about it. Like, yo, they're hyping up the previous films, and it also leads me into further speculation. Now, I'm not saying that I know anything or whatever, but just take a step back. They did the Broly movie remastered, right? And they're also remastering the Bardock TV special as well as Fusion Reborn. What if the reason they're doing those 3 in particular is because we're going to see those 3 characters in there? Maybe we'll see Bardock as well. Again, this is all speculation. I know nada. Don't hit up Toei like, yo, ForneverWorld confirmed it. No, maybe they're saying, okay, Bardock is going to be relevant, so let's hype him up again. Maybe we're going to get Gogeta in this again. It's crazy speculation or whatever, but I wouldn't be surprised. Honestly, this is just a crazy thing. The fandom is going insane right now, and there's a lot more details. Again, I'm going to read them in a second, but like, yo, Broly, forthcoming. Let's read and we'll talk some more. Toei announced more details on Monday for the upcoming 20th Dragon Ball film, including the film's title and visual. The film's official title is Dragon Ball Super Broly. Really? Like, hold on a sec. Dragon Ball Super Broly? Not like, hey, Broly is here, or the legendary... Oh, well, the first one was called Legendary Super Saiyan Broly, so they can't do that, but just Broly. They're like, hey, you like Dragon Ball? You like Broly? That's the title. Okay, I see what y'all doing here. That's a coin of swaggy there, mate. The below visuals tagline reads, the greatest enemy, Saiyan, and confirms the film will screen in IMAX, MX4D, and 4DX in Japan, in addition to regular screenings. More than likely, I would bet my left nut that we're gonna get screenings all around the country, and I can almost guarantee that sales-wise, this is gonna surpass any Dragon Ball film, because if I'm not mistaken, the highest selling or grossing Dragon Ball film that's been released in the West thus far was the Frieza movie, because let's be honest, everybody knows Frieza, loves Frieza, whatever, so that one did pretty well. I want to say it did about 8 million in total. I'm guaranteeing Broly is going to do 10 mil plus. It's going to topple anything thus far, because Dragon Ball Super, people have been craving more Dragon Ball since then, okay? Craving, like, oh, please give me more. I'm begging you. So we got that. Then on top of that, you're making Broly canon. Again, sure, there's going to be some people that are like, yo, really? Broly? Really? But at the end of the day, the hype is through the roof. People said the same thing when Frieza came back for Resurrection F, and look how successful that was and how many people got into it. I wouldn't be surprised if this is set up for something down the road, another anime. I mean, again, if my speculations have any fruit bearing from them about Bardock and Gogeta, you know how many people are going to go crazy? Bro, you know what I'm saying? Again, that's speculation, but we know 100% Broly is going to be in this. Let's continue. Original manga creator Akira Toriyama provided a new comment for the film. Everyone, do you know who Broly is? Yeah, no, Toriyama, who's that? Can you explain a little bit? Like, he appeared only in past anime films and is a ridiculously strong Saiyan. I am told I only drew his design. Wait, hold on. I am told I only drew his design. Yo, in case people don't know, Toriyama, his memory is not all that well, and his caring, on the surface at the very least, doesn't seem that he's really like, oh man, I really just dig this stuff, because the fact that has to be told, like, yeah, you only did the design, you didn't do, like, Toriyama, you gotta love the man, he's a legend. At that time, I was mostly uninvolved with the anime, and so I completely forgot the details. Yo, Toriyama, something else. Even now, it seems Broly is still very popular, not just in Japan, but overseas as well. And because of that, the supervisors suggested, why don't we just make the movie about Broly this time? Marketing wise, that's great, but I didn't really lie. And, you know, of course, we're going to continue. There's still more info, whatever. A part of me does feel like, yo, it should have just been a new Saiyan and a whole bunch of stuff. But if there's going to be a canon version of Broly and it's going to ignore the previous 3 installments, film-wise or whatever, I can dig it. If it's fresh, if it's not the same thing of like Kakarot cried in his ear when he was like 10 seconds old, I can dig that. Again, it could give him a new story, you know, new backstory, and kind of change the perception of Broly a little bit, that he's not just this hulking maniac crybaby, and actually give a little bit more, you know, substance to the character. So you know, that'd be fine too. At that time, I was shown the film, and I felt that it would become really interesting depending on how it's arranged. So we started talking immediately about including Broly into the Dragon Ball Super series. Hold on one second. So at that time, I was shown the film. So that means that this film in particular, whatever involvement Toriyama had, maybe they gave him an initial like, hey, this is the idea, and then he rearranged things. And it's not like prior where he just hands in like, hey, this is my draft, this is what I want it to be like. So it seems as though this time around Toriyama's more so editing and improvising certain aspects, and not necessarily the one that started this from the ground up. In order to not disappoint Broly fans, I was conscious of Broly's past image while also giving him new aspects, and I think he ended up as a fascinating Broly. Of course, the film won't just show amazing battles, it will also show what kind of fate Goku, Vegeta, and Broly will follow when they meet, how the Frieza army is connected. They still gotta keep Frieza as a relevant thing, I ain't gonna lie. They gotta squeeze in a little bit more of that resurrection F in there, baby. And the history of the Saiyans. The content of the film is dramatic and has a huge scale. And if we're talking about the history of the Saiyans, again, you know, my little theory regarding Bardock is a big central piece. He was the last one. He's the guy that stood up to Frieza when Frieza was like, no, all of you must die right now. Bardock jumped in there. He's like, yo, bro, what are you doing? Let's throw them hands. Unfortunately, Bardock didn't have you know, them hands to finesse his way out of the situation, but nevertheless, you know, Bardock is a central piece. So who knows if he'll have more involvement than just like, yeah, they could do the whole flashback real quick of this is what happened to the Saiyans in the end. But again, it could be interesting. For all you know, we could get somebody wishing all the Saiyans back or something. That would be insane. The greatest Saiyan Broly appears. There will be lots of other content that will be included for all the fans, so please look forward to it and wait a little longer until it is complete. And yeah, there's just a little bit more info regarding like, oh hey, you know, in Japan you can do this and that, but obviously we have to wait because in Japan it comes out in December. I'm imagining, depending on when in December, I want to say it was, they gave a date, I'm not sure, I don't want to say a wrong date, whatever, but depending on whatever date it comes out in Japan, we might get it maybe a few months off, I want to say, depending. It could be the same month. I don't know what Funimation is going to do in particular for the Western release of it, but either way, this is huge. Again, love it or hate it. If you hate it, I could kind of understand, like, yo, it's, you know, them reusing Broly again. We just had him with the Kale thing. If you love it, I understand that too, because Broly, the legendary Super Saiyan, back in the day, especially like when that movie came out, you cannot tell me when you first seen this hulking Saiyan and it's like, yo, he has this green aura, what's going on? It was crazy. And on top of that, I'm kind of wondering, you know, I like me some Kale and Caulifla. I wouldn't be surprised if we're gonna have some of them in the film as well, so they could be like, wait, whoa, that looks like Kale, what's going on here? So definitely gonna be interesting to see. I'm curious you guys' responses though. Are you upset with this? Are you disappointed that that new Saiyan and the whole plot of the upcoming Dragon Ball Super movie is going to be based on Broly? Or are you hyped and excited because you love Broly, or you think it's just a cool idea? Either way, the controversy behind it, stroke of genius in terms of getting people hype about this and getting people talking about it. People in this Dragon Ball team, the Dragon Ball room I think they call it, they know what they're doing one way or another, hate it or love it. And your overall thoughts and expectations, again, it's going to be a Saiyan's bonanza. If we're getting the history of the Saiyans, I wouldn't be surprised if we get some Bardock in there. I wouldn't be surprised with this whole remastering thing, we get some Gogeta in there as well. And at the end of the day, Broly, baby, this is an opportunity for them to take a character that is very beloved, people love him, and change his backstory to make it so that it's not just some, you know, the crying thing. The backstory isn't the most like, you know what I'm saying? So we can get something great out of it. But I'm curious, will they decide to try and work the movies into canon somehow and just do some quick flashbacks, remembering the time that they fought Broly? Personally, I don't want that at all. I'll be a little bit disappointed. I'll be very disappointed, to be honest with you. It's like, let's just make it clean slate, awesome character people love. Let's make them officially canon to the Dragon Ball story and give them a new backstory and make them epic and give us some incredible fights, because yeah, that's what Dragon Ball does. It delivers awesome fights that we love to see, and in a movie with art and animation of the scale that I'm sure they're going to deliver, it is going to be insane. But that is all I have for this one. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want more from me, make sure to subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, stalk my Facebook, follow me on Twitch, and make sure to hit the bell and get all notifications for my videos. You know what I'm saying? YouTube be wildin'. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day. And remember the golden rule: anime and manga for life, boy. Bow. Have an awesome day.
Making major moves, laugh and let the haters lose. We don't give a fuck, virginity intact, clean stack. Paper rules, if you heard it, best believe that. But now it's whatever, one day I'll be your favorite, but never. No matter how